Hey now, good morning. Happy Thursday, PASW staff. Klein's friends joining us. We're going to take another look at a composer that one of my favorites. And there's some correlation, not much, but to our film score for the week, because we're doing Oscar season, so we're looking at all the nominations for Best Score. And you guys have your score in for Killers of the Flower Moon. That was the assignment this week. You guys did a great job. I can't wait to show you that tomorrow. And see your results for that. But I thought Robbie Robertson passed away. The movie was dedicated to him. One of the members of the group, the band, and bluesy score for Killers of the Flower Moon. So I thought we'd relook at a Maverick, somebody that kind of defies all the odds, right? Doesn't belong to a certain group or party. This person we're going to take another look at did this as a musical maverick, and a similar sound, some blues elements in his music, but hard to describe, but popular music nonetheless. So let's take another look at Van Dyke Parks. Born in 1943 in Mississippi, and his father was a psychiatrist, and the family moved to Princeton, New Jersey, and at the age of 9, Van Dyke attends the American Boy Choir School. And as a child actor, he appeared along with Grace Kelly in The Swan. And here's a little clip of them together.
Scoot, Your Highness.
That's Vega, star of the first magnitude of the constellation Lyra.
So he goes to study music at Pittsburgh Carnegie Tech, where he studies with Aaron Copland, who's probably one of the most famous composers of the 20th century. We haven't discussed Aaron Copland, but his influence on Leonard Bernstein, who did West Side Story, is tremendous. And we'll spend some time with Aaron Copland. So that's his teacher, and also Toscanini is the conductor there. So he gets a really good foundation of classical composition, but like Philip Glass, like Steve Reich, like other people we've talked about, they become a little bit bored with contemporary classical music. It's a little cold, like we've talked about. People like John Cage, Boulez, geniuses, Schoenberg, geniuses, no doubt. Oh, a little boring though. That's okay. So what does he do? He goes to Los Angeles, my favorite city, right? 1962 to join his brother. And Van Dyke's first professional job is a song we've all heard, which probably you didn't know that he arranged the song to the great song, The Bare Necessities, in Disney's Jungle Book.
All the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities are Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life wherever I want.
So during this time, Van Dyke really it becomes a session musician, arranger, and songwriter, and becomes close friends with people like Randy Newman, Harry Nilsson, and the Beach Boys, in particular Brian Wilson. He also played with the Byrds and the Fifth Dimension, but declined the offer to form Crosby, Stills and Nash, which was probably for the best. In 1965, he joins Frank Zappa's Mothers of Invention for a little bit, but says that he left the band because I didn't want to be screamed at. So Van Dyke first becomes acquainted with Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys around 1965, and David Crosby invites him to Brian's home to hear this 4-track demo of the Beatles, the Beach Boys' Freudian slip, Sloop John B. And Brian Wilson and Van Dyke, Brian Wilson invites Van Dyke to help him with some words on Good Vibrations, and he doesn't think that he can really do anything with the words, but he does say, well, the cello in it, since it's by vibrations, and the cello can do a tremolo. That was, I don't think any of them had thought of that, and again, that's probably part of Van Dyke's musical classical training composition, where guys in pop music, they didn't realize not all of them, but this is a blanket statement, they didn't realize a lot of the what instruments could do. You know that you could strum a guitar, you know that you can do a cello, but you can do a tremolo on a cello. This is what the tremolo sounds like.
I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations.
Van Dyke started writing words to the Beach Boys songs, Heroes and Villains.
I've been in this town so long that back in the city I've been taken for lost and gone and unknown for a long, long time. Fell in love years ago with an innocent girl from the Spanish and Indian home of the heroes
and Surf's Up.
Surf's up. Port a tidal wave.
He doesn't really mesh well with the Beach Boys. I don't want to say because of Mike Love, but because of Mike Love, really. And, they were talking about surfing and songs like Fun, 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 where Van Dyke was using a little bit more elevated, sophisticated, colorful lyrics, as opposed to Be True to Your School. So because he departs from Brian Wilson and the Beach Boys, because he doesn't want to cause trouble, because he really is a true gentleman, he does get this record deal from Warner Brothers, and they let him do this album, and this is the album we're going to spend some time talking about, because it's one of the most famous yet underrated, I don't want to say pop albums because it's not pop, but album that came out just before Sgt. Pepper's, actually. And when you think of how innovative it was, it's pretty amazing. So this is 1967, 66, 67, right around Pet Sounds as well. But this is Van Dyke's own masterpiece that he creates. And it's called Song Cycle.
Palm Desert, market to buy. 10 foot up to date, palms of the real estate. Palm Desert, springs off and run dry. Western to Hollywood, Neverland juxtaposed, DPD and go beyond, San Fernando on hillside, manners on the banks of Toxicity. Those below and those above the same.
The album really draws from American popular music genres like bluegrass and ragtime, show tunes, classical music, all in the context of the 1960s popular music going on around this time.
I was there upon a four-poster there. My pals that came to bear some thoughts in the past. I made a dash of influenza, and then I came.
I mean, it's hard to categorize. It's orchestral pop, avant-garde art rock, Americana. These are just words that kind of come to mind where it's, I see that description. You hear kind of like a ragtime vaudeville jazz. There are tons of great stories about Van Dyke, and he's gone on to arrange songs for Joanna Newsom, Grizzly Bear, Skrillex, U2, All I Want Is You. So Van Dyke, an absolute delight and genius. And just a personal story, when I got out of USC and was looking for a job, my brother, Sebastian, who I talked about last time with Bossa Nova music, was the first one to tell me about Van Dyke Parks when I was probably in high school, and he was like in junior high. And he gave me a lot of stuff to listen to, including the Song Cycle. And so years later, after college, I just found his email on the internet, and I emailed Van Dyke, and he got right back to me. I just said, "Are you looking for any assistance or anything? I'm desperate for work." And he got right back to me and was the kindest gentleman over the phone, and said, I don't have a lot of stuff right now, but I could probably find something. Do you want to come over to my house tomorrow? And so I went over and got to meet this wonderful, just talented, brilliant artist. And we've remained friends. He's been a mentor to me. We've worked on several projects together. Me assisting. I don't want to take credit where I've, but me helping him, and even if he wanted me to hang around him and be a chauffeur, I would do it. He is a lovely gentleman and lovely person. So what a mind, such a creative, still thriving, still writing, and one of my favorite songwriters, one of my heroes, musical heroes. And so there's a little bit, so we did kind of blues, pop, rock music this week. So we took a look at that, and we've taken a look at a lot of others, but just for this week, I want to keep it cohesive like that. So tomorrow, your film scoring results are Killers of the Flower Moon, Scorsese's epic Western movie. And can't wait to show you that. Okay, have a great rest of the day, and see you tomorrow. Bye.